Well, maybe you can tell us what talking points you want to hear from Donald Trump tonight, if you're keeping everyone on message.
Well, from Pennsylvania, I will tell you, I think what's the most important, I'm in ground zero, the 10th district, swing district. Trump must win Pennsylvania. And the people that I talk to every single day tell me about their grocery bills, their gasoline, their electricity, daycare, education. They can't afford a new home. Many young people have moved back to their people. I talked to a lady at the doctor's office. She said, look, I make good money here. I have another job. I make good money. I still had to move back in with my parents because I can't afford it. I think that's what the president needs to focus on, because people in Pennsylvania, and I think people around the country, can't afford the Biden, Harris, Waltz, the leftist agenda in their economic lives. They literally can't afford to live in their country anymore. And I think that the president obviously has to draw that contrast. When he was the president, everybody was making money. Everybody saw opportunity. The things were looking up for everybody. I mean, the people at the bottom of the socioeconomic spectrum, at the bottom of the money ladder, saw a way out. And I lived most of my life there, so I know what that means. And to draw the contrast between then and now, I think that's what the president has to do. And the other thing is safety. People don't feel safe in our community. I don't care where you live. There was a lady killed just close to our town, close to our community. She was out on a rail trail. Some person here that was here illegally took that lady's life. And so people are afraid to go out of their homes. When I grew up in the same town, we used to leave our car keys in the car. We left our front door unlocked. Now people are scared to go out in their own town. And then you look at the world situation, you got wars going on, you got saber rattling going on. People are afraid whether you buy a new F-150 or a toaster, they all have a chip in it. If Taiwan is taken over by China, we're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to live the life that you live right now in the 21st century. And that's because these policies being projected or being instituted by Harris, Biden, Walz, the left, are destroying our country. And that's where I think he needs to stay. That's where I think he needs to stay.
I'm curious your guys' opinions on the SAVE Act being attached to the continuing resolution.
You want me to start?
Go ahead.
Okay, so look, I don't love the continuing resolution because essentially we're saying that we're going to vote for spending and the amount of spending and the priorities that we voted against in the past. But we know how Washington works. And so, unfortunately, while I don't like that, this is the only tactical play that we can make that stops the December omnibus. So understand how this works. What Chuck Schumer and the people on his staff that are literally going to write the spending bill that determine how every 350 million Americans' taxes are going to be spent, that's all done in Chuck Schumer's office, and they love to do that, and we don't have any say in it. All the Democrats will vote for that. Half the Republicans will, because you either vote for that or you get accused of shutting down the government. So they're setting up this circumstance. The only way to stop that is to put the CR on the floor that pays for government for the next 6 months into March, but put something on it that the American people want and understand, which is the SAVE Act, which all that says is that people that vote in federal elections must be American citizens and states must verify it. When you do that and send that to the Senate, and here's the important point, when we send that to the Senate, we must leave town. We must leave town, so the Senate has no other option to either take
do you think
that.
We will? This really sounds like I'm talking to a general. He's like, here is our battle plan.
Well, that's
This is
right.
the plan. Yes, all of you better have your tickets booked.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Leave town, take it. So then the narrative becomes, because the Senate will say, this is garbage. We don't want to, the House is mucking it up and they're confusing things and we should just fund the government. The Senate will be in the position of explaining to the American people why they don't want to fund the government so that illegals can vote in their election. Right. Make them explain that to the American people. So I don't love the circumstances, but this is look when the Confederates came on to Gettysburg looking for shoes and ran into the Union Army, they didn't like the circumstances either. But you got to fight on the battlefield that you're on, and this is the battlefield we're on. So let's get after it and win the battle. Right.